But see what, you see, if you miss a day, there's got to be a really good reason for that, right? And then you can go and catch up afterwards. Because I can't remember exactly the context. I could be saying this wrong, so please don't shoot me down. Yeah, I was checking a girl at the time, and then she was on her period. She was on her period, and I'm sure that when she hit her period, she was out of the thing, and then she was going to catch up later after she was off her period. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a life thing that you can't help that. Yeah. That's a woman thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really know the full ins and outs of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man.
But interesting times still.
Have you fasted?
Have I ever fasted before?
No, this time. Was your plan? Like, my plan was like, all right, Ramadan's coming. I've got to like try and like fast, even if it's just for the physical and mental benefits. But I've done. I failed every day.
Do you know what? Yeah. Remember.
Do you know what it is? It's this. It's water. Otherwise, I feel like I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, I would, because I'm not religious or I'm not Muslim anyway, or like I could still fast or fast on something. My motivations is different, but it's just me having a little like just being next to them in some way. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would have my own way of doing stuff, which I do. I do have my own way of doing stuff this time around. But I was just like, you know what? As my Muslim friends are making a sacrifice, yeah, I'm gonna make a little light sacrifice. So there's a couple things that I'm not gonna do this month. One was chips. Yeah, I'm not having chips this month.
Okay.
Well, throughout Ramadan anyway. I'm not gonna have.
It's also
crisps.
Lent right now as well.
Well, this is it. So hear what I'm saying. This is what I was getting to that. I was getting to that bit. So I'm saying, rah. Yeah, this is what I'm cutting out a couple of things. I said this on my gram and that. Then a couple of people that hit me like, "Oh, are you doing something for Lent? Or what are you doing for Lent? Or listen, come here a minute. No, I'm not. Yeah, I didn't want to. And I just didn't feel it, and I'm doing it now because this is what I want to do. Yeah? Party poopers telling me about what I shouldn't be, like trying to make terms for what I'm doing. Listen, a couple people I know is making some sacrifices. I'm making some sacrifices. You call it what you want, but I'm making a sacrifice next to them. Yeah, let's not make it that deep. About what am I doing for Lent? I'm not doing nothing. All right?
He's giving up.
I got bare messages, you know. Bare messages. Well, what you doing for Lent then? What are you talking about? What am I doing for Lent? Yeah, big man, I'm doing what I want.
You can't even have chewing gum if I remember right.
No, you can't.
What?
In Ramadan.
Oh no,
well,
yeah. I think the only thing that you can do
if you're fasting
is like
brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth and rinse your mouth. But you can't ingest.
It's good, I'll be honest. Like, not even just the food bit, because I think we probably pay too much attention to the food part of it, but the fast is like everything that takes you away from the Most High.
Yeah.
Whether that's excessive TV, whether that is like not arguments. I think
porn
will be one. Porn, like, but I'm saying everything. You know, anger, jealousy, like all of those things. Like you're supposed to be like, no, not until the evening.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is essentially it. You're not supposed to do it at all, but especially during it's a reset.
Yeah. Well, I also just going to the porn thing. I would assume that like if you're fasting, you do that for the month and not the day. Well, you wait until the evening.
Don't look at me. Yeah.
Huh?
You'd hope that.
Yeah, you'd hope.
You would hope that.
Yeah, you'd hope that. You don't. Yeah. Come on, man. Man's waiting till 6 something.
We need to stop
naked.
Porn needs to probably needs to be behind the paywall. You know
what?
I think porn should be behind the paywall. I know it's controversial. I know it might ruin some lives, but I think it's ruining lives.
Do you know what? It's not going to ruin lives because it's cheap.
Yeah, it's true, but do you know what? We gotta get it behind the paywall somehow. It's just too accessible.
Too accessible,
bro.
I can't even download. If I go to download instrumental, a type beat from YouTube. I can't even do it without them offering me some girl in my area.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It's just cheap though.
What do you mean it's cheap? What
The
kind
only
of cheap?
way that
I don't know if you meant it metaphorically or actually.
Is it cheap now?
no, like subscriptions are not cheap. I mean, subscriptions are cheap.
Yeah.
Man have a spare, even though we're in cosy living, man have a spare $5.99 or $10.99 for it. So it has to be a bit deeper than.
Is that better though? Is that a better? All right, cool. Like if we're
It stops the kids.
Yeah, it stops the kids. Of
stops
course.
the kids.
But I'm thinking as adults, yeah. If you didn't have access to the whole catalog of everyone's stuff.
You don't know. You only get.
No, I'm just saying in a perfect. It wouldn't be a perfect world, but as in a slightly better world, is it better to just go on like a Pornhub or like to be subscribed to an OnlyFans and actually get to know that person? Like for yourself, forget for them, for you. Is it better for you to have access to? We know what's on that homepage.
Yeah.
It's crazy on there.
Yeah.
Like, do you want that or do you want to have like? Is it a one person thing? What's better for the world?
This is a great question. What is better for the world? Okay, let me just push the jokes aside. What is better for the world is for it to not exist, really. But we've far too gone for that.
Gone past that.
It has to be. It has to be expensive.
Well, I was just asking you for the two. Pornhub as it is, or like that you can have that, or you can have the OnlyFans, but you have to subscribe to one girl. What's better for the world?
Probably the OnlyFans.
Has to be. Because then at least you can kind of like knuckle down. It's almost like you're in a relationship.
You're saying, right, I hear that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I mean that obviously causes its own problems because man start getting jealousy.
Obviously, yeah.
and
You're
all
just
of
gonna
that.
fix that leak, and then you're gonna have one gushing out here.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be all
Of
over
course.
like
But yeah, I don't know, man. How it's super disruptive porn, isn't it?
bro, it must be ridiculous. I'm sure they say it's the fastest growing addiction. That and sugar. Has to be the most ridiculously distracting thing that you can get. Like it's just. Let's be honest, yeah.
What do you think would happen if they said, okay, I don't want to put this next to something religious because obviously people would just take it out of context. But let's just say, for example, they said for a certain period of time, every year, for 2 months, they all just shut down just for
All the sites.
Yeah, just for like a little
cleansing.
Yeah, cleansing.
I think that's healthy for the world.
Yeah,
because they say your brain heals a lot faster than like your body, for example, in that respect, where they say see, like there's some people out there that are mashed. They watch so much porn that they're just fried, like they're desensitized to any. Like by the time they get themselves on their hands on an actual real human, like they're in the mud.
Yeah.
But they say that thing is desensitized. I mean, not desensitized. You can reverse that pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you stop watching porn completely cold turkey for 2 weeks, then you'll undo like 2 years of damage.
For 2 weeks.
See? Exhibit A. That's it. It's difficult.
But I do also mean that in a sense of really and truly, that is not even a long time at all. So for it to for that, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
I think it's used as same way we use the fridge. You know, you go to the fridge. It's like, I'm bored.
Yes.
I'm bored. What's in this fridge?
Yeah, that used to be me. I'm not gonna lie.
In our adolescence.
Yeah, that used to be me, bruv. I ain't got nothing going on for a couple of days or whatnot, and I'm not even. I keep it 100. I'm not horny. I don't even want to do nothing.
I'm forcing that out.
Yeah, I'm forcing it. I'm
That's
forcing it. Then that and those ones, you're then on it for ages.
You're on it for
ages.
how many tabs?
Yeah. I'll open.
You're even taking notes of the ones that you know you might not need now, but I'll like that next week.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, 100%. And then also, and then on top of that now, it's getting a little dark outside. It's great.
Before you keep looking at the clock, you're just like, oh, I've been there for
ages. Yeah, nah, man. I do think that everyone, especially if that is something that you're watching or whatnot, yeah, which obviously man's not telling you to go and do that, but everyone needs to cleanse from that though. 100%.
I think the porn companies,
would they get more respect if they did that? If they said,
I think they have a duty. I know it's all about the bottom line and the numbers and blah 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 blah, but I think they have a duty to society to do that.
I
Even
agree.
if it's 1 month where this is inaccessible.
I agree, and they make so much money that they can do that.
That's it.
They make so much money that they
And,
can.
or make it so that, all right, cool, like you can only access this if you pay like £100. Like,
Yeah.
If you're starving.
Yeah.
And you need this.
It needs to be something that will make people think about it.
And the reason why, because it's mashing us up. It's
Right.
mashing up every human that watches it.
Yeah. Women would definitely have some interesting stories if they knew, like, obviously, men feel what they feel when they're doing what they're doing, so they'll know how it's affected them, or maybe not, but they'll just know that certain things are just way off. Yeah. But with some women that are encountering men that are watching a crazy amount of porn, they'll have a few interesting stories. One, because man are just trying to put them in some unbelievably stupid
Figure
positions.
four.
Yeah. And then also just other things that are just happening that maybe they might not even tie to porn too much. For example, I don't know, man never even being able to get a rockers. Or actually, a common one that I've heard a couple women say before is that certain men can't ejaculate without their own hand.
Okay.
So they would say, let's say you're
In
having
general,
sex.
like, yeah.
So if you're having sex and that during missionary or dog, whatever your favorite position is, you know, you revert to the favorite thing when you're ready to. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The man don't have the favorite thing is the hand because that's what you're used to.
That's insane.
I know, but I've
know,
heard.
but it must-
you know,
it
I've
must
heard
actually
that
be
a
a
few
thing.
times. You know, a few different women have told me that they've been in situations with a man that
That's-
could. Oh, the only way that he could finish was himself.
And not neck, we're talking.
Yeah. So even they might give some top, but then when it gets to the thing, he's then got to, and then let it go by himself.
Top's a weird one. Because you need a degree of talent to get you there for top. But in terms of like,
But I'm not gonna lie, my mind can get me there though. As long as you're okay, this
But
can get
imagine
me there.
not being able to nut in someone. That's crazy.
I know.
That's insane.
But that's sometimes the effect of porn though.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And remember, we talked. You missed the conversation. It was actually quite a good one where we talked about, what was it? It was, performance anxiety.
Oh yeah, male anxiety.
Male, yeah. So we were talking about male anxiety, but from a place of that sexual aspect where, I can't remember exactly where I was going with it, but I was just leaning to the point of like a lot of people are not necessarily encountering women like that. Yeah. So then, because of that, when you actually do have the opportunity to do that, there's a level of anxiety
You're
that comes with
shaking
that.
in the
Yeah, of
tunnel.
course.
Yeah.
Because you know what, like, for a woman, for example, a lot of the time they can just lie down, and as long as they produce a little piece of moisture, then you're okay. Whereas a man, if this thing doesn't
Pressure's on.
yeah.
Pressure's on. It's true.
And once
you know?
it goes down,
Do you know what?
And once it goes
I
down-
think you should probably have a little bit of, not anxiety, but as in, if you know you're not match fit,
yeah,
then you're gonna have demons
Yeah.
going in there. You're gonna,
100%.
you're 100, and rightly so. Can't just walk into finals.
mine's
That's not how it works.
100,000,000%. I know.
It's like-
Skip quarterfinals.
Yeah,
all that
that's
type.
it. Like I ain't played this whole
You
whole
ain't played the group
tournament.
games.
I haven't done anything. I don't know if I can do the 90. What if it goes to extra time? Like I don't know. You don't know what you're gonna be. It's pot luck, and then you try and give yourself the extra boost. Maggie, you overdo it with the Maggies.
Yeah.
Now you're even worse. Like,
The anxiety that I've had on the transparent one, the only anxiety that I've ever had like that is usually if I feel like I'm gonna bust quick.
okay,
Because I might have had that. I might have bust quick already before, and then I've come back again, and then it's just like, for whatever reason, it's like I feel like it's gonna happen again, and I'm just all in my head about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna do all of that. I'm
What?
just gonna be like, no, I'm not a I'm not gonna nut far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, as in I'll have other flaws somewhere, but as in there's like I won't have.
Even when you're lazy.
Nah,
lazy.
man. If I'm lazy, I'm definitely not.
No, I'm like, if you just want to get over and done with.
That's the
Oh
harder
yeah,
ones.
no, I can do
That's
that.
the harder ones. You want it over and done with, you're gonna struggle.
No, I can do that.
What, can you?
Not quick.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I'm not on a funny one, but my mind is just like, I'm really stimulated by the psychological aspect of things.
Yeah.
So I can get my mind to a certain place. Like, don't get it twisted. My today is never a problem of ejaculating fast. It was just when I was first sexually active, I was worried about that. I think maybe that was because of school and college, and like, you know, that was just a thing that everyone would talk about. You're coming quick or whatever, and that just whatever. But I can, in my encounters, if we're in a zone or whatever, and I can see that, okay, she seems satisfied, she's enough now, I can immediately.
Yes, in 15 seconds. Yeah. Once you feel
know
like the
what? You
job's
can count
done.
down.
Yeah.
You can count down.
Yeah.
You can count down.
Yeah.
Go on,
I don't mind,
go from 20 to 0.
You can. I'll go to the corner flag.
Yeah, right.
Just do that with the ball. That's it. Oh wait.
Yeah.
But I will celebrate the moment the whistle goes.
Loudly.
Loud.
I'm telling you.
Loud. That's it.
Hey, let's do wait for poet. Let's do some boxing still. AJ.
Wow.
AJ.
Back.
Big up AJ. Big up AJ. Let's have a little recap, because obviously a little time has gone still. We ain't even discussed it. We was obviously gonna record on Monday, but it just didn't even
I
happen.
hope that victory and the fashion of it ages as well as I think it should. Because it's very easy to dismiss on paper, once you look at it, that win, because everyone will be like, oh, he had 2 professional fights and he'd lost both of them, or he'd lost the one before, whatever it is what I'm saying. But in reality, there was a lot of people I was speaking to who, as the fight got closer, thought Ngannou could have this. And I'm talking on the day of the fight, I'm speaking to people in the gym and they're like, I think Ngannou's got this. And I was like, raw. Like, I couldn't believe, obviously this is what you dream for in a pay-per-view. Like, 2 names that everyone knows and people split on who's going to win the fight. It's a sure way to get people interested in a fight.
Yeah. The chargy.
You got a trim.
The chargy.
Outside's a big
Outside's a big place. He was outside, but outside's a big place.
place, man. So
Yeah. Well, you bought. Sorry, Dan. You bought Nandini's, yeah?
yeah.
Strongly.
Yeah.
Brock.
Must be nice.
There's no Brock in there.
Ah, that's enough.
That's already been
Are
eaten.
you lot still doing that?
Yes.
He is actually.
Yes.
Poet's been pretty good. Still, I can't lie.
Come.
Yeah.
We're just on the AJ. We just started.
Oh, sweet.
Go on.
AJ, bottom line, by the time they got in the ring, no, before they got in the ring, I wasn't wobbling. I just thought we'd see a AJ win. I wasn't sure that we was gonna get an explosive performance just because of how awkward Ngannou is. So I just thought AJ will win this. I'm not sure if he'll look good because Ngannou's mad awkward and there's not enough data on him. Like, you can't really see, you can't get too much from him. You've probably only got 30 minutes of footage on him, essentially. So like, and will he be the same? So I just thought maybe his awkwardness, his size, the fact that he wants to come on the front foot might make this fight go to the end. And then I saw him in the change rooms and his right hand looked like it was going to go through the wall. He was punching that
Who's?
AJ.
Oh.
On pads in the dressing room before the fight. I saw him like how he was loading that right hand up, almost like catching it before he shot it, and I was like, "Ooh!" I'm in the Sky Studios watching it, and I didn't, but in my head I was just like, "This could go early." I didn't say it, so there's no evidence. It's just in my brain, but I was just like, "That right hand looks scary right now." And then he got in there, just timed him, just gave him a boxing lesson, and then when I say, "Bro, you see that? The first knockdown's a flash knockdown." Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ngannou's doing going southpaw. He must have got a little bit bored and maybe wasn't having much success or whatever it is. But he went southpaw and just got dropped within 5 seconds.
Yeah,
going
straight
southpaw.
away.
But you see that second shot that AJ threw that dropped him. He sent him to the shadow realm.
Yeah.
Like that one there took that shot takes like 15% off your nervous system forever.
Yeah.
He will never be the same.
No.
After that, you don't take those those licks. That lick there was a major shot, like 18 stone of pure genetics, momentum, like everything, anger, hurt, anguish.
Yeah.
Everything was in that shot.
And audacity.
But Ngannou had the audacity to get up.
Yeah. So I thought the first knockdown, which you said is the flash knockdown, yeah, I thought Ngannou could look at it as made a mistake. Southpaw, cool. He caught me. That second knockdown, I looked at that as there's a level of defeat now.
It was like, oh my God.
Yeah. And understand, I'm a UFC guy. Yeah, you don't see Francis getting hurt like that. Yeah. You don't see him getting hurt like that, bro. Obviously, it's a different thing, but it's like that punch there really.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, like he did half of AJ's work for him with that shot in terms of like jabbing and like the jab. Obviously, AJ's done a slight pull counter, but like the jab ended right here, like without Ngannou throwing that jab, like that don't happen. But it's just the most perfect execution from AJ. Yeah, it's like he still had that shot from the dressing room in his mind almost. And it was just like boom. It's like Ngannou ran into it, like jumped into it, and then the last shot, like chicken winged his leg.
Listen, he could have broke that, you know.
Didn't he?
No. He could have twisted his knee. He could have twisted his knee.
Yeah.
He could have. That happens though.
That would be the least of your worries. Like at that moment, your body is literally like all back. Everyone like battle stations now. We need to keep this guy alive. Like that's where you're at. Like one more of those, you're probably dead, kind of thing. So it's like,
do you know what's crazy?
The shot was nuts.
That's how I know nothing about boxing. At the start, when I saw Francis boxing his trainer was wearing a bulletproof vest. The distance between...
Was it a bulletproof? No, he's trying... It's a bodysuit, right? Yeah,
The distance between them, because of what he was wearing, was crazy. It led me to believe this man's punches is not really something you can just take in a training. And then I just saw AJ, and the guy just had on 2 mittens. So I said to myself, if Francis punches AJ, it's over. But... for the first time, I can honestly say in my life, I watched an AJ fight and I so desperately wanted him to win. Usually I'm impartial because it's not, like I'm such a football fan. I when it comes to sport, I'm just tribal. So I love AJ. If he was Jamaican, maybe I'd want him to win more.
Right, I hear it.
I'm so tribal when it comes to things like sport. But for the first time, I watched it and I was like, Francis, I love you. But you see that fight with Tyson Fury and that exchange and all of that. I want it to be about AJ. It's about too much other things. I just actually want this whole night to be about Anthony Joshua. There's too many times where people are having a laugh about him and all this other stuff. So I'm in my living room like I know boxing. Come on, AJ! Win this one, my brother.
Was he saying, yo, hit him with the jab?
I was saying, hit the bulletproof vest again, go mad.
Hit him with the jab. Do you know what, yeah? So just going back to what you said, you raised a good point, yeah, where you said that you hope that it ages the way that... What did you say? How did you put it?
Me?
Yeah. You said you hope that it ages the way...
Yeah, that I want it to. As in, like, that was a good win in real time.
Yes, so...
But the history books will suggest it won't be.
Right, and I was going to say that. Like, I hope the same thing too. The unfortunate thing is, yeah, is that sometimes especially for the casual person or the person who may not necessarily have been there, the context just gets removed. And the context sometimes can get removed in history. So you just look at the numbers and you just say, well, he only had 2 fights and blah, blah. But the context and what was going on around the time is completely removed, is taken away from it. Because the context is that he gave Tyson Fury a nice little run for his money there. And that should never have happened. And so for that, you could even see in Tyson's victory, he didn't feel great about it. Like, he changed, his mannerisms changed. He
got defensive because he knew.
He got super defensive.
Yeah.
He was even defensive that day on the AJ thing. But even after that, remember, he was talking about, before that fight there, he was talking about his next fight with Usyk. Yeah, where he was saying, he said, they were asking him about the fight. Is it happening in December or whenever the fight was scheduled to happen? And he said, well, it has to happen in December because he signed the contract. And if he doesn't sign the contract, if he doesn't, and then once this thing with Francis happened, and it was like, oh yeah, gonna have a nice Christmas with my family, and then I'll see you next year. Bye. And it's like, hold on, wait 1 second. You was just saying that my man so that just showed you, innit? But these are all part of the context. So when AJ's in this situation now, that's what made it a debate. Could Could AJ beat him? Can this guy beat AJ? A lot of the conversations that I was having and what I thought would have happened was AJ will win. He'll just box clever and just take it to the 12 rounds, or the 10 round. But it won't be close though. He'll just box him.
I expected a comprehensive victory, but maybe AJ not getting too involved. Maybe he catches him with a humdinger late on and stops him. But I weren't expecting AJ, and that was because I expected Ngannou to just take center of the ring, which he did. Yeah. But he didn't do it in a way where AJ had his leg against the ropes or anything like that. Like, they negotiated that. Yeah. So maybe Ngannou's half steps in were what was costing him. Him trying to be on the front foot so early and exert his dominance on the ring is what got him knocked out, essentially. Well,
help me understand this then, because I was under the impression that if it was going to go the way that I thought it was going to go, that Francis would have or try to take center of the ring for at least 5 or 6 rounds until it got to a point where his head was just getting boxed off, and now naturally AJ down. That's what I was. So for him,
that's what was gonna happen in my mind. He was gonna start on the front foot, and he tried, but the hand speed. Do you know what it is? AJ probably doesn't get enough credit for being, I'm gonna say, cute, because what he did. He did it in 30 seconds and he figured out the distance and the speed very quickly. Obviously, Ngannou bit on everything, by the way. Every time AJ went to throw a jab, he was trying to counter with a left hook. He was trying to do something. Every time AJ even made a move, Ngannou did something big from
every flinch. I saw it in some
every
replays.
single
every
time.
He flinched, yeah.
So, AJ obviously read it well enough and quickly enough to be like, all right, cool. This is, I figured out his patterns. And they would have known beforehand, going into the fight, what his patterns generally are anyway. He's obviously stepped in with his jab, but he hasn't got no distance. He hasn't measured his distance, Ngannou. Ngannou's just I'm just bigger than you, so I'm more on it than you. I'm gonna push you back. And he's walked onto a shot from Tartarus, bro.
Yeah.
He's just walked onto a shot you just can't you'll never recover from those shots. You could have sat him down in the corner and given him 10 minutes and got back. He would have just got put down again. Your body doesn't.
Yeah, there has to be something that gets taken away from you when that happens to you.
It's your leg, innit? The leg's the indication. If your leg's gone in a direction that you don't want it to go into,
bro, it's an issue. But it's just the force as well. It's bro, our heads aren't designed for this. You see, gazelles and deer and stuff like that. They've got membranes around their skull, which are designed. That's why they attack you with their heads and that. They're meaty, but they can be because they've got round their head. They've got a layer of shock absorbers, if you like. That protects the brain.
I've seen the headbutts.
I've seen a couple man with the shock absorbers, but our brains don't have nothing. The distance between the brain and the wall of the skull is that. So you start shaking that, and you're gonna get them brains that are just when you see. The brains that just mashed.
Yeah. To be honest with you, the second time he got knocked down, I said, let's stop this.
Bro, it was violent.
It was it looked like it looked abuse. It looked like AJ. When I saw the second knockdown, I said, "Big man, end this thing."
Yeah.
And then by the time the legs doing the stanky leg thing, I said, "Yo, get the paramedics."
And I love Ngannou. He's the most. He's the
listen.
loveliest guy ever. How could you not wish him well?
Yeah,
of
course.
But you're coming into the Lions Den. When I say the Lions Den, you're coming into a boxing arena against a brutal boxer. AJ's not at his best really when he's kind of jabbing and moving, and he's at his best where he's jabbing, but really he's jabbing with the intention of like smoking you with this right hand kind of.
That's what it looked like he was doing then as well, because I'm seeing him hitting he's going for the body a lot, and I'm like, has Ngannou boxed enough
Here's my
to
question.
feel?
I've got a question.
Go on.
Does AJ look? There was a lot made before when Ngannou said to Tyson, "Queensberry rules are saving you. Outside of this ring, I demolish you both."
Yeah.
On the same night. A street fight. AJ and Ngannou.
A street fight.
I'm saying there's a case, or in a cage. I'm saying there's a case for AJ to win that as well.
No.
I know you think that, but he's a stand-up fighter, right? You're not going to see him doing the... If AJ has a camp and he's genetically as strong, if he learns the skills
Let me tell you why.
Let
me tell you why though. Because even though Francis is a stand-up fighter, he has been in that sport long enough to where his ground game would still be world class to AJ's compared to AJ. So all he would actually have to do is just get him on the floor.
How long does it take you to develop that?
Huh?
How long does it take you to develop that?
To develop
and
what?
you have to get someone on the floor. Usually you got
AJ could potentially get. I don't even think he could get Francis on the floor, to be honest with you.
No, I don't even think he'd want to. But I'm just saying, in order to get someone on the floor, you kind of have to close that distance, yeah? Like, not run at them, but essentially run at them.
Yes, but do you know what happens though is if you're a stand-up fighter, yeah, and you're not used to this thing, then it's like the sweet science of boxing, bro. It's like you can say, "Oh yeah, but you've got to close the distance. You've got to run at me first." He could just run at him, bro, because you're inexperienced. If I just run at you and I just grab you,
it's over.
It's done. Like AJ would have to catch him immediately, and that timing would have to be perfect. It would have to be perfect.
This fight has made me look at it, and I'm just like, cool. Like I don't know much about Ngannou's MMA career, but what I do know is he's a stand-up guy, and when his preference is stay on your feet and trade punches.
But you're missing something though.
Go on.
Because think about it, yeah. Within that mixed martial arts, yeah, you have to train for all disciplines. You just have the discipline that you specialize in. Yeah. AJ has never had to train for a discipline on the floor. He's never had to do that. Ngannou has had to do that his whole career because he's had to fight man that are at some point going to take him on the floor. He's going to have to know how to counter that, to roll back over, to get elbows in the face and all these type of things. And that takes years of experience. So it's like, he's still done enough. All of those years of him learning that just in case is way more than enough of.
Does he ever take someone on the floor, like by preference, or is his basically to be a might have to or is he learning this stuff to stop people getting him grounded and pounded?
Sorry to cut you. Do you know what? I think either way, I have to agree with Chuckie here because
I think I might. I just don't. Before it was like this man would smoke these lot all in a cage.
Yeah, he would.
And now I'm just looking at it.
But look at the skill set required though, because the skill set required to box, yeah, AJ is well versed in that. This is me ignorantly speaking, by the way. He's well versed in that. So realistically, me even thinking the fight was going to be close is silly because I'm just relying on the fact that Francis might have an opportunity.
What happened to France? What happened to Francis is supposed to happen.
It's supposed to happen. So I think if you mix the fight now and you make it more in favor of Francis, a place that he knows very, very, very well, even if AJ trained for a year, he's not going to be able to get the experience that Francis has in that dungeon. He's gonna smoke him, bro.
And I know certain guys, and head kicks, knees,
come on,
and elbows.
Is that his bag? Yeah, is that his bag?
Oh, bro, he's gonna smoke. He's gonna smoke
to pieces.
It's like certain musicians. If you put them in the dungeon with Jammer and you ask them to do a Lords of the Mics, I'm not saying if we go to an arena they don't smoke them in an arena, but where there's two guys, a mic, of camera and bare man. I think you might be a little bit scared of that 16-year-old.
I just looked at it in a certain way. I was just like, do you know what? I've seen
Tyson knows.
I've seen Ngannou try and put pressure on AJ in the first 20 seconds of a fight. Trying to close the distance, got kind of punished every time he went to close it, and then got pinged.
But it's a false equivalency.
It is, but in my head,
because
all I
all
saw was
was
an
box
octagon instead of a ring, and I'm like,
because
ooh,
in
this
the
could happen there.
octagon, there's many of times he could have just grabbed AJ.
Oh Lord.
And that's a thing in itself, you know.
I see man just lie on the
Forget
floor,
about
to be
getting
fair.
on the
I
floor.
see man lie on the floor and stay there,
Like,
Yeah,
for real.
like a praying mantis,
yeah.
like just
But you know what? Certain men have been on the floor just staying there and still knocked a man out with a leg kick from the floor. Do you get what I'm saying? It's crazy. But yeah, I don't. In that sense, I don't think AJ's.
I'm back in AJ. Any fight.
I back AJ anyway because I just like AJ in it. Yeah, but I'm so happy that happened because that was one. Firstly, that was just what's supposed to happen. I love Francis Ngannou, but obviously, I love his story and where he's come from, and I love the fact that he's rich. By the way, that's one thing that I loved. I love the fact that somebody like him is rich.
Yeah,
bro, this man was the champion in UFC and getting paid relatively decent money, but compared to this, you know what I mean? Like he was definitely not getting paid his worth.
This is
His trainer
this is
said
it now.
that this is his trainer said the last fight he had with Tyson Fury, he came out and said that is the most money we've ever received, ever. Like even if
600 bags for you. I think the last UFC was it 600 bags, something around
And that's
around
good
there.
money in comparison. But I'm saying for him, a legend of MMA, of UFC,
A champion.
a champion, to get this much money now in 2 fights, have to rate it.
Of course.
But that's what boxing is, man. Yeah. Don't go over to them death row sports.
Yeah.
They're out, exactly. Come on, advertise your
Come
thing,
on,
Dan.
man.
Come on.
Before
And
we
that's one
move, go on.
What? Because obviously I don't know much, and I thought the fight was going to be longer, but it was shorter, and a lot of people were surprised. So, what new things could you say you've learned about AJ?
From AJ.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a
that
good
AJ's
question.
back. Him teaming up with Ben Davison is a very good move for him because we know for a while he kind of fiddled around with different trainers and he went Robert Garcia, Angel Fernandez, someone else was in there as well. Derek James, all coaches, good coaches, but maybe it's his mindset. Maybe whatever it was, something wasn't clicking, and for a long time, us and everybody was saying maybe that brutal AJ
The dog.
is gone.
Yeah, because we talked about this on the pod time ago where I was saying that like the thing that I see with AJ sometimes is he seems super focused, all the way up to a fight and that, and then in the fight it almost feels like at times the dog is gone.
Yeah, I think it's because we know what he was. He came up knocking everyone out, and then when he was forced, I'd say, into boxing a bit more and staying on the back foot, we'd see opportunities for him to go and kill that person, and he wouldn't do it for a while. And he might get you out late like Pulev, and he might, but he looked like more of a front hand fighter where he'll kind of just keep you there. I'll pop you with my right hand every now and then, but like it weren't really like, he didn't feel like I want you out of there now, I'm getting you out of there now. Whereas in the last 2 fights, he's not pulling his right hand. He's not waiting for it. Like, it's like before he was kind of waiting for the perfect spot to let that right hand go. Now if he sees something that could be the perfect time to let his right hand go, it's getting slingshot. Like that's getting thrown. And that's what people feared. People never really feared. Your fear when you fought Anthony Joshua is probably not that he's gonna box your head off for 12 rounds. That's probably your fear fighting Tyson Fury, fighting the Mayweathers, where it's just like you might not get a brutal beating, but you're probably gonna have you'll have your heart broken. Yeah. Whereas AJ might actually
knock you
take your head
out.
clean off. Yeah. And that was the fear, and that fear had gone. And remember, there was probably a couple of years where people were wanting to fight AJ, seeing that fight as a winnable fight. Yeah. Because they thought the destructive version of him is gone, but he's back. Yeah. And now this AJ in this mood, I know styles make fights, so people are gonna be like, don't be a prisoner at the moment. But this AJ with this style can beat any of them. Usyk as well.
Serious? Yeah, I would love. Do you know what? Yeah, I would love to see that. Do you know what would be my ideal? My ideal would be for him to fight Fury, to beat Fury, and then go back for Usyk, and on the third one, beat him, and then say that's me.
That's it. Now, obviously it's
Can
all
he fight Wilder,
hypothetical.
though? Just for banter?
Just for bants, yeah. But it's hypothetical because Usyk,
Or maybe even say
Usyk
after-
is very smart,
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah.
So Usyk's not gonna. He knows you're gonna have that aggressive, brutal mentality and your right hand. But one of Usyk's greatest things is being able to take away your weapon.
Yeah.
So there's no telling that this version of AJ beats Usyk because Usyk's clever, he can adapt. But this is the one that needs to turn up against Usyk.
100%.
Yeah.
But I will say, just because I'm going to move up, we're still going to stay on boxing on something else, but I just think like Tyson has got to do something now, honestly, because like for a while, for me, I've always looked at Tyson and thought this is a man who's, you could just see, was just very, very, very difficult to beat. Incredibly cocky, got a lot of things to say. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, so do I, to pieces.
I love it.
But I also did love the fact that that Francis let him know that there's this discipline is separating us, because if we didn't have this discipline, you would definitely get some licks, and twice on a Sunday. I love that. Yeah.
Fury definitely went on an interview afterwards and was just like,
Yeah, I would have done this, and I would have done that.
He said, I'll beat him out. He goes, I'll beat him on the coppers as well.
But yeah. All right,
Did he?
well,
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
a-
I saw
traveller.
it. Of course.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I do.
I respect it highly. I'm
I
sorry,
do.
man. Stand
I
your
do.
ground.
I got Francis on that one as well, though. But he's got to do something, though, because even after that fight with the AJ thing, you could see he was very sensitive. He was very delicate, and so he should have been. Yeah. But you talked about, which we're not going to go into too much, but you was talking about your top heavyweights in it, and that Tyson wasn't in your top heavyweight, and you explained why.
Tyson, what
Mike Tyson, sorry, yeah.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson wasn't in your top 10, yeah, and you was explaining why and whatnot. And even when you talk about the context potentially being missing out of history, when you look at Tyson Fury's boxing record, it doesn't look lovely.
It's aging badly. That's exactly what's happening, because now we're looking at a Francis Ngannou win, which is a dubious win at that. Let's be honest. Everyone who watched that thought Ngannou won.
I was just looking at it now.
His best win is,
Derek
Deontay
Chisora.
Wilder. Yeah. Now for me, he beat Deontay Wilder 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna
I
worry
agree.
about the draw.
I agree.
But obviously Wilder, everyone's always known Wilder's not the most talented boxer, but if he catches you,
Game
you'll
over.
wake up in the
Yes,
corner and
it's done.
like, you've got a loss in a record. That's it. That's just what happens. He got up from that, and do you know what? Like boxing is all about like mentally, spiritually where you're at as well. That version of Wilder isn't the same version of Wilder that Parker fought. I'd like to say that much first. That Wilder before knew he was gonna catch you at some point, and he would throw bombs, and he would look terrible doing it, but he'll clip you and just go to sleep. So that was the most dangerous Wilder that he did fight. So again, I don't want it to like, we have to try it in real time. So at the time, that win, those wins against Wilder were
big
groundbreaking,
Yeah.
huge wins, because everyone knows you can survive. Ortiz just beating Wilder. Everyone's beating Wilder, and then he beats you. So like that, like to actually go 36 minutes with him was a real thing, and then to stop him yourself was even bigger. Obviously, he's then fought Dillian White, Chisora, blah blah blah, names that AJ's has beaten one, and you'd probably back him to win those fights anyway.
Francesco Peniat.
As in, there's a bunch of look, his best name.
Tom Swartz.
Yeah. Names, but no one there of any note that you will think is his best wins are Wilder and White.
Sefa Safari.
No, these some of them will be mandatory defenses. Some of them.
Well, yeah,
They won't
and
even
then
be world title
Klitschko.
fights.
Huh?
There'll be interim fights and stuff like that. Bottom line, his
Yeah,
record
Klitschko, but-
was he was the best, and this is how boxing works. What have you done for me lately? Yeah, he was the one. Whilst AJ was in his lull, he was flying. Yeah, and he got 3 huge wins, and then he stopped Dillian White at Wembley, and now he looks like he's on top of the world. But then they're doing that again. AJ's on his rise, and in Fury's last fight, it didn't look so good. Probably if it weren't for some scoring that most people don't agree with, would have a loss on his record against a boxer that's never boxed before. So now it's aging bad. Parker goes and beats Wilder. And now your win against Wilder doesn't look any good.
Right then. Yeah, it stinks. But he's got to do something. He's got to do something. Let's move off from that anyway, yeah? How are you feeling about Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson? How are you feeling about that?
I might have to fight him next.
Oh, actually, before we get to that, before we even get to that, Poe.
That woke me up.
Yeah?
What happened?
Nah. So, I'm hearing,
Yeah.
Wayne.
Rooney.
I'm hearing he's looking something. I'm hearing Wayne Rooney is looking something. Yeah, apparently he's had a couple of drinks and he wants a tear up, Poe. He wants a tear up. So, I don't know if he's been calling any names, but I think we know somebody that might want to have a young slice of that one there.
Worst thing is,
And he's sitting on the couch. So let me tell you something, yeah, Wayne Rooney, if you want some, we got somebody that will give it ya.
I'm ready.
Huh?
I like Wayne Rooney.
You like him?
I don't even know how they clip.
I think
like
Wayne
that.
thinks you're a pussy, yo. I'll be honest with you. So what are you saying?
Like,
What are you
we all
saying
know
about that?
I stopped Wayne Rooney. Let's be honest.
What in what round? Because I think
I reckon he goes early. You know, I reckon I'll do him in 4.
You're serious.
There's a famous goal celebration that Wayne Rooney had to do because he got knocked out in his own living room by Phil Bardsley.
Phil Bardsley can have it.
All we have is history, Chuckie, and history suggests this isn't a good idea. But that's all we have.
Let's be honest, yeah. Before, look, I know Wayne wants to have a scrap in that, yeah.
Would you have him? No, a big and serious.
Yeah,
Would you take him?
But he needs to rematch Phil Bardsley first.
Yeah.
That's it. Go get your strap back first.
What's the context? For people who don't know, give people the context.
I was on Sky.
No, go all the way back.
Okay, so what for who?
Wayne
Rooney. There was a video that emerged of him getting knocked. I won't say knocked out, but he got stopped on his back by Phil Bardsley in his kitchen.
He got stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, he got stopped.
Yeah.
They were fighting in the kitchen. Both had gloves on. Phil Bardsley drops Wayne Rooney.
Phil Bardsley is a right back, formerly of Manchester United, then moved on to Burnley, I think Sunderland, had a
tough boy.
career.
Tough boy.
He's not an idiot. He's not an idiot.
He is the type of fighter that Wayne would struggle with at all points of his career.
Yeah,
really
Bardsley,
honest.
I don't want to create this perception that he's a slouch or something like that. But there's Wayne Rooney.
I'm watching it on the screen now.
He's flat out
with a jab.
Oh,
and that's what happens. His head is now underneath
His head's under the table.
Yeah.
His head's underneath the table, and his legs. And his leg went stiff for a moment.
Am I right? Check. Am I right in saying Phil Bardsley is Irish?
Maybe Northern Irish.
Maybe.
Let's hope.
He hit him with the left as well.
That's a jab.
Oh, he hit him with the jab.
Phil Bardsley is also older than Wayne Rooney.
His head stayed on the line, man.
Scottish, my friend.
Scottish. Of course he is.
Scottish. Apologies. Shout out to Scots. You know they do their thing.
Yeah, look. Look.
That's sleeping, bro.
Look, and that's prime Wayne Rooney, by the way.
Yeah.
So, look,
This
last time we saw Wayne Rooney, last time I saw him personally, he was asleep in a hotel room.
What was it?
With some cigarettes.
He's not fight fit. He's not fight fit. But I want to. Do you know what? I do want to see the footballers fight though. Some.
Not Wayne Rooney,
do that.
Not Wayne.
Do that.
I know the fight.
Go on.
We need to see John Terry versus Wayne Bridge.
Oh wow.
No, we need to see John Terry versus Real Ferdinand. They both look like they still go gym. That's the fight I want to see.
The Wayne Bridge one's got a much bigger storyline.
I hear you.
It does, but I think John Terry has him.
Yeah, I think.
And I just don't know if I love the idea of that.
What?
He smashes the missus and then smashes him up.
Yeah.
Wayne Bridge is wham right now. I'm not even.
Is he?
Bro,
Google
Wayne
him.
Bridge is wham.
Put Wayne Bridge on the screen.
Serious?
On the screen.
Is he still going out to go from the Saturdays?
If he's wham, he's looking for John Terry right now.
He should. No, actually, no. He moved on to bigger and better things. We can't pretend it didn't happen.
Like type in like.
He looks athletic.
No, he's wham. He's in the gym now.
Maybe
he's done what like Torres done. You know Torres is wham now.
Yes, Torres is.
He's done a Torres.
Yo.
Oh, I haven't seen Torres.
Who's that guy that was MCing with Skeppy at one point as well? I say MCing, but he makes an alternative type of music like Playboy Carti. Have I forgotten his name?
I don't know.
Well, he's another person that's wham as well.
They're gone wham. Everyone's getting wham.
Everyone's
I would
getting
prefer.
Jim.
I'd prefer to see the Rio though. I prefer to see the Rio.
Rio John. Even Anton John.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really gonna be Anton more.
But then, do you know what? A fight like that,
I don't know, man.
I can't.
Oh, actually,
you know what it is?
oh,
I wouldn't be able to casually. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. I wouldn't be able to casually watch that fight. I want to see footballers fight that I don't have a emotional attachment to, because with the Rio and John, I would want Rio to inflict
real pain.
Yeah.
What about like a Suarez Evra? Was it?
That's a good fight.
That's a good one.
That's a good fight.
That's a good one.
Vieira's a good fight.
I think Suarez was smoking.
I think Suarez does something illegal and bites.
Yeah.
He bites his ear. He bites his ear. He does some shit like that.
Beckham Ferguson?
Nah. Roy Keane Ferguson.
Roy Keane Ferguson.
Roy Keane Vieira.
Roy
Now, do you
Keane
know what?
Vieira is
no.
overdue.
Yeah, Roy Keane and Vieira.
That's overdue. That's a good fight.
I was gonna say Roy Keane and Gary Neville, but that Gary Neville gets
He's
smoked.
getting his ass kicked, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what? They need to bring
Man
back
said, what did he say?
Celebrity
He said his dick was small and all of that.
That was cold.
If they brought back Celebrity Deathmatch and just
What
made the
did he just
footballer
say?
version.
That's what
What?
he said in the book. What did he say? I read it in a book.
Roy Keane said Gary
Roy
Neville-
Keane, yeah, he said he had a pop at him about him in the shower or some shit like that. You didn't read that? You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, that was a thing. That was when Roy Keane was just having he was
What
just going
about
off on
Carragher
one.
right now? Maybe Carragher and Malik Scott.
Ooh.
Carragher might need to fight one of the filthy fellas.
No.
Really?
No, what are you talking about? I'm saying
you
Malik
not see-
Scott. Do you know why? That's Wilder's trainer. Didn't you see what Carragher did the other day to the girl, to Kate Abdo on CBS?
No.
Yeah, but didn't you see what
When he said, you're not you're
Forget
loyal
them.
to who?
Yeah, but forget. But you watched the clip before.
I didn't see that.
I understand what you're saying,
Okay,
man.
okay.
I
So for
didn't
context, CBS do a whole Champions League show. Thierry Henry, Micah Richards, Jamie Carragher, Kate Abdo. They ran a little joke where he basically referenced that Kate Abdo might be cheating on her missus. But
man.
if you watch the clip beforehand, it gives it more context
Okay.
because she called him Jamie Redknapp. And then he was like, Jamie what? She goes, the one and only. So then she was trying to...
Yeah, but I
So
don't-
Jamie was just trying to get... When you watch it, it makes more sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But Jamie did have a goal at the Filthy Fellas.
Did he?
Yes.
I didn't see that
Tweeted
as
by
a goal.
Sky.
What happened?
Oh, make sure something happened. He said to Specs, "Yeah, go and tell your friends that." He was looking at the details of a situation that happened within a football match.
Oh, is it? Oh, he
and
said it
then
to Specs?
yeah, go to Specs. Yeah, go tell your boys on the podcast next time.
So I'm saying,
Who's
Jamie,
the- who's
we're
the-
on Jamie Carragher versus
So
them.
we're on him,
Obviously
we're
not
on
be
him.
me. But all of them, Lippy, Savage Dan, all of them, man, versus Jamie Carragher, he's not on that.
I hear it.
He tried to go on Needham.
I rate Jamie Carragher. You know?
Remember Needham Manua went at Jamie Carragher.
Oh, I went
And,
on
well,
that.
we didn't get-
I'm not
we
gonna
didn't
lie. I
actually
think
go at
Jamie Carragher can punch man up still.
Yeah.
Not Dan though.
Gas, innit?
Yeah.
Of course.
He's
Look at him,
faster
bro.
than Specs.
Yes, he is.
He looks like he can. He looks like he's a scuffers.
He's bro,
Look
he's
at
from
He
Liverpool.
spat at a child.
Yeah, I remember that.
You name me another person on Sky Sports that has no privilege that can spit at a child and get a job back.
You know he knows
Should
some.
probably have been in the most controversial draft, you know.
Of
He spat at a
course.
child.
Yeah.
Hazard as well. He kicked the ball boy.
Yeah, but him and that ball boy are cool now. He owns the AU vodka.
The ball boy built a story off the back of it. Where's this young girl? There's
What?
no story.
That's the same you that owns.
AU vodka, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You have to. That
But
boy's smart.
his dad was the chairman of Swansea
At the time.
Oh,
at the
okay.
time. Yeah, so that.
So they had a
Comes
good
from money,
investment
yeah,
from it.
comes
Comes
from
from
money,
money.
yeah.
Okay.
But I still rate him.
Yeah.
Because he carried on
Did
the
his
story.
own.
Carried on the
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
Where are you now? At least
Right.
where he is.
I hear
Where's
that.
the girl
And
that got
it's a
spat?
good vodka.
Yeah, it's decent
very
still.
good
Yeah, honourable shout out to them still. How are we feeling about the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson thing?
I
Though?
hate it. I hate it.
Go.
Bro, Mike Tyson's 60. I know everyone thinks this is Iron Mike, but it's not Iron Mike. Mike Tyson lost to Danny Williams, and back then he was past it. That was like over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He's 60 years old. So I get, like, obviously he's gonna, like, you can punch a bag and punch a body and look all right on thing, but taking these shots, I think it's dangerous. I think Jake Paul is a bigger danger to Mike Tyson than Mike Tyson is to Jake Paul.
I agree. Have you thought? I'm assuming that you may have not thought too deep about this, but
No, I definitely did. I saw it.
Go on.
And I just said to myself, when are we going to start respecting the elderly?
It's true. Man can't just
You
fight
name
a
me somewhere else you
60-year-old.
could just punch up a 60-year-old. What's going on? And I'm not suggesting Mike Tyson can't hold his own, but Mr. Paul's he's a monster,
He's wham.
bruv.
He's wham, you know.
And he's got this.
Sinister side to him where he's
Oh,
like,
he's good. He's the best
Bruv.
of the YouTube boxers
Yeah,
by
he's good.
far. And
He's
also,
he's a monster.
forget all of that. He is bro, he's super rich and he's still doing this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
actually bought into this. Like
Like he loves this.
100%.
He loves this.
Do you know what it is with him? Just on what you were saying there, though, yeah. His motivation, I believe, is wanting to be respected and credibility. So I think sometimes, even okay, let's say for example, yeah, you start off poor and broke, yeah, and your thing is you want to be rich, but you also want to be respected. So you come up into a sport or whatever it is, and then you become rich. Then some people do respect you or whatever. You get a little knockout or whatnot, and then sometimes you're just never the same again. But for him, he was just doing his YouTube thing. There was obviously a demographic of people that really loved what it was that he was doing. But I feel like he's got to a point where he seeked respect from a different demographic now.
He's not
And
on the YouTube thing no more. He don't care about
he
YouTube.
wants people. He wants people to look at. He wants
saying.
people to look at him different now. So that money that he's got, if anything, he's using it as a benefit to be able to like maybe get the best trainers, eat well, do all of that type of stuff and whatnot. Yeah, but his sole focus is that, along with elements of trolling and being in history in whichever way, shape or form he can be in it. Hence why fighting Mike Tyson is, because you can't say, even if you beat Mike Tyson, you don't get respect for beating a 60-year-old
Nah, but it's just
Mike
something he's
Tyson.
done.
But it's something that he's done.
Yeah, but
the thing
isn't
is, go on.
But sorry to stop you there though, but isn't that like just like maybe he's a couple of nuggets short of a Happy Meal?
Who?
Like Mr. Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because-
Yeah, of course.
And I think anyone that believes
A couple.
But then I think anyone that believes or buys into the narrative that this is a way to gain respect in the boxing world, I also believe is a couple of nuggets short of a Happy Meal.
100%.
Because the reality is what Dan said. The reality is this guy, even when he was pro, was losing fights he shouldn't have lost. And I'm not suggesting he can't hold his own, because if I see him in, reality, I've heard the stories about him punching up, man, I just want a good life. But what I will say to you is that I don't imagine that this is a fight where you go, I rate him, he beat Mike Tyson. It's not Mike Tyson.
It's an
like
exhibition, and
Get your money.
There'll be stipulations in there somewhere. We're forgetting the bottom line is the money.
Yeah, get
but
the money.
I just think Jake Paul is in love with boxing, and it happens that you just get that thing. It don't happen for everyone.
Yeah.
But as in, like, he fell in love with it. I guarantee when he goes to sleep, he's watching fights, old fights. Like, when you fall in love with it, you fall in love with it. There's nothing you could do about it. I think that's just where he is. And Netflix are going to throw him big money
To do it.
to fight him. They'll get me between them. Like, he might be like, if you land a good shot, like, don't follow it up with a good shot. Kind of. Like,
How much is he going to make? How much is Mike Tyson going to
Oh
make?
god.
I've got no idea. But
At
it'll be
60 years old,
tens of millions.
So he's at 60 years old. He's making tens of millions. He's got his podcast. His podcast is amazing, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like for me
I
personally,
remember
this
he
is
got
good.
robbed for a lot of his money. Like, as in, a lot of his money in boxing didn't
robbed.
really exist.
No.
And he's had,
Don
like,
King
for
still
as
got
much
it.
as, like, he is the
Don
baddest
King
man.
still got it.
But he's had, he get me, like, I love Mike Tyson. I think he's sick.
So do I.
I think he's iconic. I think he's overrated for what he actually was in history.
Yeah.
But look at that man. He's the best, and he is a monster. He was the equivalent to a Roy Keane.
Do you know what I have?
In the tunnel?
I have a notion about things that are overrated like this, though.
My thing is, I think they were necessary. That it was necessary for it to, because I don't know.
But
But if it's
ti-
overrated,
timing.
Tyson, you needed that to be overrated.
Yes,
then.
you had to.
You
because
needed it at the time.
Tyson came through at a time where boxing really needed him to come through, and he come through and booted the door down. Remember
Booted it.
when Kane came?
to wrestling. Oh my
Bro,
god!
wrestling didn't even need Kane, but he still came through and did
And
that.
added a whole nother dynamic.
Fire everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, but like sometimes someone licks down the door and it's just like, what is that? And he was the what is that? He is the reality is he's 0-5 in his live fights. But it doesn't stop people from calling him the greatest. I have loads of people in my DM saying that's number 1 or 2 or 3. They obviously don't know what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
of course. When you start
But
naming
he
names,
is-
it becomes different.
Because the way
When
he
you
started, do you know what it is for me?
But he is
when you
iconic.
start
He's the one
naming
you
names
remember.
and you start adding the context, that's when it becomes very different. But you know what? Just going back to this thing very quickly, yeah, I just didn't love it. I just didn't like it at all. The only thing that I'd say that I would like, or I do like, is I just like to see and always want to see Mike Tyson rich. And just
Yeah.
have money and be comfortable and all of that. I just think this is a dangerous thing. I just think it's just a dangerous thing to do. And I think, going off what you said, Poe, yeah, like, you almost have to be a couple nuggets short of a happy meal to take this, because you know what? What if this is a 60-year-old man at the end? Forget the fact that he's Mike Tyson and all of that. Yeah, he's 60-something years old. Jake Paul is 20-something, right? He's not hit 30 yet, has he? He's wham. He can actually really box. Yeah, if you hit him hard enough, after he's already been hit so many times throughout, maybe let's say 25% of his life anyway, like. Surely you don't want to be the guy that could potentially. Do you get what I'm saying?
I've heard,
and that's
whispers,
a possibility.
I've heard whispers about big gloves or head guards or something like that. We'll see. I want to see how it develops. I get it. It's a money grab, but all of these are.
Yeah, they all are. So get your money.
The only way that I can say that I respect the fight, is if it turned out that for, I don't know, a few years, Mike Tyson was just taunting him, texting him, "You're pussy out." You see, you think you're gonna have me?
They're best friends.
But I'm just saying, this is the way that I would respect it. If he said, "Listen, I'm telling you, I didn't want to do this," But every time I'm fighting, and I'm doing something, hitting the pads and that, my man's just talking off his mouth and whatnot, and he's telling me he's gonna do this and do that. Do you know what? Cool, I'll give him some money, but I'm gonna give him some. Then I can hear it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But what? We're friends, a little negotiation. We're going to go and, you're going to give him some bread and whatnot, But it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's fake.
It's uncomfortable.
It's not fake, but I hope it's fake, if that makes sense. Like, if you're going to,
so do I.
like, just, don't mash each other up. Not mash each other up. Tyson can do what he wants, man. Don't mash up Mike Tyson.
Do you know but these guys, I'll be honest with you as well. I don't believe none of these guys. Maybe I say it because I'm working in YouTube and I've just worked in it for so long,
Go.
People just need another story to give themselves another 5 years in this job at times. And sometimes I feel like this could be his story. If he beats Mike Tyson, all of a sudden, the people that are a couple of nuggets short of a happy meal, which I imagine are half of his followers, go, yes! And then they love him for another 4 or 5 years and he adds some more longevity and something to his career. I don't think the fight will be real. I think that it will probably be orchestrated and they will have it to go to a certain time, and I just think we're looking at this. He's a 60-year-old man. He's not going to last all the rounds that you expect.
I think half of it might be based on how deluded Mike still is, because there might be a part of Mike that's like, this guy, I'll beat this guy,
bro.
And he might be saying,
I agree with what Poet's saying as well, by the way. But I hear that because that goes to which I've mentioned bare times here, in a different context where I've said, imagine. You are, let's say, a footballer, for example, at the height of your career. You go on out on the pitch, whatever. Thousands of people are cheering, shouting your name, whatever. Then one day, this just has to stop, and that is very difficult for people that have hit a certain high, because what you will find with a lot of them is they will always say they would just want one more game or just one more. It's a drug. So I could imagine Tyson just saying, "I ain't got the dog in me. I don't want to fight. I wouldn't fight AJ and them, but see them little young YouTube box, and they're fighting in front of these stadiums and that. I could take one of them.
How many?
I could take one of them
for 10 mil.
Everyone does it.
10, he probably get more than that. He's fighting in the what's that stadium called? It's called I can't even remember what it's called. It's like 90,000 or 100,000.
Is it Dallas? Like one of them ones?
Nah, it's like something like the Cowboy Stadium or some shit like that.
It's
the stadium that Canelo for
Dallas.
Yeah.
You say Cowboys?
Huh?
You say Cowboys? Dallas Cowboys?
Is that what's called? Yeah, Dallas Cowboys. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, cool.
Man said no.
I don't know that. That's not my team. I got half of it right. I got half of it right. But yeah, it's a big stadium. He's probably getting more than 10 mil as well. That is going to get
Tyson.
Then go make your money, man. Huh?
This is like rich kid stuff.
Do you know what? If you're at 60 years old, if you're getting 10 mil at 60, you probably got another 20 years plus on this planet. Bruv, that's nice.
And you know what it is? It's not about him. It's probably about his use.
Yeah,
how many use has Tyson got?
You can't turn down this kind of money.
10,
you can't.
over 10 mil.
Bro,
how many use has Tyson got? Google that for me quickly.
No idea. But for 30 minutes work, basically.
Come on, man. Go for it. I like to see the brothers still getting money, like you said, man. It's nice to see the man them still doing their thing at that age. Because you know what it does do as well, Chuckie? To an ignorant audience that are not aware of Mike Tyson, it glorifies him to a whole new audience of people, to let people know this was the guy. So even a new audience like my youths growing up will have that fear factor of, oh my God, Mike Tyson was whatever when he was younger.
He's got 7 kids, by the way.
He's got how many?
He's got 7.
Yeah, my brother.
Can I just say, though, I will say this. If it is real, if it is actually happening, it is real, yeah. I just hope that for somewhere in the first or second round just for 15 seconds. For 15 seconds, he can just roll back the ear.
Well, I'm sure.
And just roll it back right into the right hand.
Boy.
Oh my God, and get him straight in his blouse and skirt.
This is
Big
not
man,
his first
we need a
exhibition. He
pause.
had one a couple years ago.
I know, with
And
Roy Jones,
and
innit?
I'm sure he went to drop it and he held him up. He landed the right hand and then held him up.
He did.
Yeah.
When
Oh
was
yeah, he
falling.
did. Yeah, he did. Oh yeah, shit, I
He
forgot
still
about
got it.
that.
If he lands, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, yeah. I really want one of them.
I'm
really,
glad.
really, because that would be a story then.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you
Mike
thought.
Tyson still got it.
That would be nice. Because
Yeah,
you know
I mean-
what? At 60 years old, for him to be doing an exhibition like this and bare people are there, it makes me happy because Floyd Mayweather done one in England and there was the same amount of people in this room now that were in the stadium.
Alright, do you know what? Mayweather's ruined it, you know. I unfollowed him the other day, you know.
Is it why?
He's done, man.
Israel?
Why?
That was my hero, man.
Oh, what? Because of all of that
He's
shit.
just all over the shop, man. The guy, even forget all of that. Yeah, I'm saying even this guy keeps. We get it. You're rich. He keeps going to places with 25 Louis Vuitton bags, reminding people
That he's
rich. He's basically shitting on people.
Yeah.
I just like a couple of days ago, I was just like, bro.
I don't think
done,
he's
you
shitting
know.
on people though.
I just think he's speaking to who he's speaking to.
Who?
And that is a very small group of people, my guy. He's doing tours of Israel right now. Like,
Bro,
Nah, I think
this
he.
is crazy.
Bro,
Him
you
and
know
Usher
other people are looking at
crazy.
him weird. Like he'll be in Switzerland, like going skiing, yeah. But like everyone else is just going skiing, but he's just there with 8 Louis Vuitton bags and a fur jacket. He just went there to take the picture.
Yeah, you of course. But you know what it is? I
He's
think,
talking to his
He's
proper
15 years
people,
old.
man.
He's moving like he's
I think
9.
he's
What
addicted
type of
to.
gal is
I
he
think he's just addicted to the limelight. And the thing is, because of the fact that he ain't able to
come on.
box anymore, yeah, he is just trying to find ways to just be talked about. Because he did enjoy. When in his boxing career, he did enjoy being a villain at one
course.
point,
But-
and so this is a new way of
He's
him
not
being able
growing
to
up.
do that. Huh?
I've outgrown him.
Do you know what I don't think you lot realise? Today, I was late for this pod. Do you know why? Not only are we going to help, you know, this is going to be shown to millions of people. I'm going to a party today.
Strong.
And do you know what's going to be at the party?
Floyd.
Hopefully not. The opposite sex. Gal.
Strong.
So a lot of why I got a trim today and why I'm making an effort today is for gal.
Is it?
And I personally feel in my heart of hearts, Floyd Mayweather, from the women that I've seen around him and the people I've spoken to when I go to America, he's doing a lot of this for gal.
I don't
Because
think
he
so.
has one of the gal, I'm telling you,
Yeah, he's got some.
is
He's got
so
a bunch of gal that all just
sensational.
roll with him.
And he's just advertising.
What I mean
I
is he just
I don't.
keeps show he can't.
I think he's doing it for
But he's
men.
advertising.
Po.
For
I
them.
think he's doing it for men.
Do you?
I really think he's doing it for men.
Why?
He's all over the shop.
Limelight, ego, all of
His
these
ego
things like
is-
there's,
he's an
there's
egomaniac.
loads of it. But it's
Yeah, but
like
girls talk about you more. So if you want ego and all of that, look at Drake. His whole business is for gal. I think history suggests if the gal them love you, they propel you.
I think
it-
men rule his world more than women do.
Yeah.
But that's only because he's in boxing. I honestly believe he's advertising himself to the opposite sex like, gal, come over here. It is cushy.
I don't even know if he's doing that.
I don't think he's
just
doing it.
Stupid stuff. Like my thing is like he'll be in Venice. He'll be like, I'm always traveling the world. But like, just sit on the boat then and take the picture. You didn't need. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't need this fur jacket as well. Like
But
he's doing too much.
Think
Like,
about it. We don't understand it. But I see him with the Chris's gal. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
we're not meant to understand
No, but-
it, but they do.
I hear what I'm saying is
Maybe.
even when
Too
I'm
much.
saying I'm saying he's doing it for men, yeah. Even though I'm saying he's doing it for men, I'm not saying that he is not doing his thing. I think he is more than look. Let's be clear here. This is all speculation. This is allegedly in that.
Yeah.
But you heard about the thing that happened with one of his mates or whatever that wigged himself. Remember all of that?
What?
You
don't know about that?
Not even just that. There's more. There's more around him.
So basically, yeah.
Oh, is
there
there
was
Effie around him?
There was a situation where
Is there some nonsense around him?
Nah, so what happened was there's a situation where basically one of his guys called him on FaceTime or whatever and wigged his missus and then wigged himself.
Hold on.
And the story was
is that a
this is,
is that a
this is alleged.
Alleged,
no,
yeah. I
so
was
this is
looking for that word,
this
yeah.
is what actually happened, but I'm going to tell you what allegedly was behind it. So that actually happened, but allegedly they were saying that my man was chopping his gal and that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why he was saying like he's obviously, but it wasn't just him. Apparently Trey was chopping his missus and that. Apparently his missus was doing some things. So he's got to the end of his tether, hit my man on the thing, and boom, 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 and it just went mad. But anyway, I say all of that
that's
to
sad,
say,
bro. Thank you.
I say all of that
That's
to
sad,
say,
man.
he's out there doing his thing, but I just think that he's more affected by men than he is by women. Hence him doing all of this stuff.
I think
Okay.
it's attention, man. Like, as in, like, we trust me, Floyd. We all know who you are, bro.
Yeah, and we all know you're rich. And you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Deep down, we're happy for you because you know what? You did it by being a fucking G.
Incredible boxer,
A
man.
G.
Incredible
Yeah.
boxer.
Now, no one can
And
ever
just a
take
G
that away.
himself. Like,
But I just think all this stuff right now, the fact that we don't like it, it just can't be for us. Like we can't. Sometimes I think some people, because they have an attachment to something and it's been of service to them for years, they feel the stuff that happens later on is of service to them as well. No, I think it gets to a point where he's no longer
or
for
maybe
you.
he's not growing. So, for example, he's probably doing no different.
Do you mean in
Yeah,
real life?
no.
Or do you mean like as a
Now that
person?
I'm thinking about it, he's the same Floyd that he was 20 years ago.
He's the same height.
He's not getting more graceful with
Stop it, man.
He's not,
You punch me off as well, man.
he's not getting more like graceful. He's not like slowing down. His speed, he's really still shooting off the hip.
Yes.
And maybe I'm just
Yeah.
going a bit more inside, where I'm just like, Floyd, less now, man. Relax. You're
So
like,
when you was outside, who was you doing it for the most?
me,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it for no one. I wasn't doing it.
So you weren't doing it, but when your friend,
I weren't,
Like, say
but
your
I'm
friend,
saying
you're
him.
West London,
Yeah.
you're West London. You lot have been wavy from ever. You've been getting gal. When the man them were doing the most, more time in parties and all of that, buying the.
They were doing it for men.
You reckon so?
Enough man was doing it for men.
That's the second
maybe.
episode of Poets Corner. Check it out, man. I said the same thing a long time ago. But I'm just saying, I'm rephrasing it now. I genuinely think it's for just because of what I've seen. What I've seen leads me to believe, especially in Miami, he's doing this for the gal them.
You love the gal, though.
Bro,
well, you're not a free agent. You're a free agent. Crazy.
I've been free.
Before we get
Come
into
on,
the
man.
howlers, yeah. Big
come on,
news
free?
about Vibes Cartel.
Yes.
Wow.
Big news. But I did some research into what exactly is happening.
It's a retrial, isn't it?
So basically, what has happened is, yeah, there has been it's actually super interesting. So the Jamaican justice system is based off of laws in this country, and due to the fact that the British monarch is head of state in Jamaica, right? And so it's tradition for cases to be heard in British courts, yeah. Sometimes with Jamaica, with as far as Jamaica goes, yeah. So what's happened is, in his situation, for people who don't know, there was a promoter that got killed. I can't remember his name, Christopher Williams or some shit like that. I think his name was.
Clive Williams.
Oh, Clive Williams, yeah. He was a promoter. Anyway, they say the case was that someone in his team did a madness. In the case, they got footage or cell phone audio of Cartel talking on the phone, and they used that in the court, yeah. But apparently, his team was saying that was obtained illegally, because you can't always do that. There's restrictions of red tape around that. And also, those voice notes was on SoundCloud. Did you ever hear them?
No.
So he was there, like, talking about, he was getting wound up. This is Cartel. He was getting wound up because he's saying that this guy had moved his shoes referring to his guns, yeah, and he was getting really upset about it, and essentially saying that something needs to be done about it because the man them's doing X, Y, and Z and carrying on with fuckery. And then they're saying that there's this last voice note where once my man's thing, Cartel's asking what the thing's done. The brother's like, yeah, whatever. And then at the end, he like makes a little joke, and then at the end he says, "Oh." And that's it, yeah. And that's it. But they used that in the court. But
They must have laughed when they heard that. Oh,
yeah. But there was like apparently some judge, some jewelry tampering and all of that type of stuff.
So hold on,
anyway,
wait. Was it actually shoes? They said.
no, it was guns. It was
Yeah,
apparently
no. But is that what? Did you say shoes or did the?
he said shoe. This is what
Okay.
Cartel's saying. So,
So
it's code.
why
innit?
would that be used in court? Because how could they prove?
They're saying that this guy, it obviously had something to do with money, but also had something to do with straps. Somewhere down the line.
But why would you even play that in court? He'd see, if the audio says he's moved my shoes, something needs to be done.
Well, they use that in court. They use all kinds of stuff to build a case against you or for you, and they do stuff to manipulate or what not. Yeah, but anyway, the Privy Courts here or Privy Council or whatever here have looked at it and basically said that they need to overturn that. So that goes back to the Jamaican, the local courts in Jamaica, and then now it's for them to decide whether there's a retrial or not. But the next process though can take up to around a year or maybe even a year and a half. If they do then decide that there needs to be a retrial, that could then take another year or another year and a half, because then everyone has to come in and start building their cases and doing all kinds of shit. So he ain't out. He's just not, in legal terms, he's just not a convict right now. But they're not gonna put him on bail yet, because in Jamaica apparently there's there's like some new bail term where it stops these type of things from happening. So you can't just like, if you're in some shit like this or whatever, they're not just gonna free you and then say, yeah, cool, come back to thing. They're gonna just say, yo, you gotta stay in jail right now until everything happens or whatnot. But if he does get a retrial, then there's a chance that he could get off, because shit, that's long. Do you know how long that is?
You see, the retrial was the main evidence that voice note.
No, so the reason why you're asking about the voice note. The reason why they're saying that there should be a retrial is because the prosecution took that voice note illegally. So you can't take something. You can't just go in someone's phone and just take shit. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if that's what they did, then ultimately, even if he had said in the voice note, "Yo, I did that," you can't use that.
Right, but my point is, if they are determining a retrial because of that, then they can't use that voice.
They can't use that now.
So my question is, was the voice note
Key evidence.
I don't know. All I can tell you is that this court case was the longest in Jamaican history. So I'm sure there's like a few other components in there, but the voice notes was there though. So
there might have been other stuff illegally that they tried to take and put inside there. So you know what? We might all be going to Jamaica in 2.5 years, having the greatest celebration we've ever had in our lives.
The whole world's gonna go.
Brother, the airport is gonna be rammed, which means they have to improve customer services, because we know how good they are, and they have to improve the gift shop. Last time I went there, it was 4 shelves. Let's have a big roll now. Let's
Has anyone got a Jamaican passport?
I have not.
But
We need to,
definitely
we
have to
It's
swear.
easy to get it.
Yeah, I know.
But we have to it's in my list of
All right,
things to do.
when do you want to sort it out? Right now, when we going to sort it
I
out?
forgot, we got the same
I eat
surname.
broccoli.
Yeah, let's run this.
I eat broccoli, so you know what I'm on. When we going to sort it out? But next week we can start the conversation this weekend.
What's that?
Cool.
Doing it.
Yes, just get it done.
You know what?
You have to.
That's a good
You don't
shout,
need
you know.
much, you know. You don't need much. You don't need much to get it.
What do you need?
Has any of your parents got a Jamaican passport?
I can only ask one.
Oh my god. Fuck.
You see him, you know?
But yes.
If anyone's got a Jamaican passport, or was born there,
Yeah.
then you can just bring their birth certificate or death certificate.
I hear that.
And that's it. And then you can get yours. My dad wasn't born in Jamaica, so I have to go to my grandma or granddad and
Serious?
get theirs. And then I have to get my dad's as well to prove that that's their son, and then mine.
Do you know how I know it's easy? 1 minute a man goes, I'm not playing for England. 2 weeks later, he's on the plane.
Struggling. I'm
Very English man.
I'm telling you.
Antonio,
But we should be
we
doing
should
this,
do
man,
that.
because
That is true.
otherwise we'll be shackled.
we're
there,
stupid.
Man.
Exactly.
That's
And there must be some privileges. Like I heard we can go Ghana. We can
Yeah,
go
you can.
Ghana.
Yeah, you can.
What else can we do?
There's better things. Even land. You know how there's 2 prices in Jamaica for everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's just a
Banks.
better
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
bank.
All the banking and that.
Yeah.
Also, you know when you're going to, I don't know, like
The land
you
is a
man are
good
well
one, though.
travelled.
The land is a good one.
You man are well travelled. Have you used your passport in certain areas and got a look? So like I've been like Lebanon. When they saw the
Vietnam,
passport,
Vietnam,
they're
Vietnam,
not
Vietnam.
happy.
Vietnam.
But I do know, being a Jamaican globally, the only thing they're concerned about is
Weed.
barring that.
Ganja.
They smile at you when I say I'm Jamaican. Everywhere I've gone, in Russia, they treated me like, you saw the video of me and Vuj on the boat and they're playing dancehall.
Yeah.
They love us.
You know that like you having a UK passport used to be like one of the like best
Top thing.
passports
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
have.
It's
Now
not
it's
anymore.
way down.
Not
I think
anymore.
it might be like 13th or
Go
something like
Sweden.
that.
It's not anymore.
I got
needy
help.
now. I think Japanese might be the one,
Is it?
Oh, really?
maybe.
I went to Sweden.
Just to type in most powerful passports or whatever.
I went to Sweden the other day. The amount of aggro they gave me. Sorry to keep cutting you off. They gave me a customer. What's it called again? The thing where you go through.
I don't know. Customs.
Border control.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My lord, now that we're not in the
They say
EU.
France, by the way.
They
Sorry.
said France.
France, yeah.
That's terrible.
French
Wow.
passport. I can't believe the French passport's terrible. I'm good.
Sorry, Po.
But yeah, the trouble they give you now when you're just trying to go to other countries, bro. My lord. I thought I was going to New York.
Yeah. New York sometimes is mad.
And Sweden got a bloody nerve. They make it seem like they have anything more that we don't have globally. About
Yeah, I
why,
know, innit?
Oh, why? How long you staying here? Big man, as long as I don't need to. How about that?
Oh, we're looking at a different one here. What is this? What have you put up here? Yeah,
2023.
Okay, so Japan. Yeah, did you say that, Dan?
Yeah, I did say Japan, but I don't think that's Japan.
Japan's number 1.
Japan's number 1.
Where? Singapore?
Singapore's 2.
Number 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Oh, they
yeah. Joint number
Is
one.
that joint?
Must be like.
Oh, they're
joint.
both number 1. Wait, what's the least?
I mean, top, Monaco.
Monaco.
But
That's on this list. Yeah,
there's
lovely.
obviously country that-
Yeah, 250 countries, isn't it?
So
So.
if you're North Korean, you ain't going nowhere, bro.
Yeah. That's
Is that
true.
passport that bad?
North Korea?
Can't go nowhere.
Everybody's on.
No, you can't get in there.
Yeah. And Iran.
You gotta have
Iran, is it?
you gotta have a real good reason
That
to
South,
be going
that
there.
South Korea and Japan and Singapore one though is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
No.
Have
Jap-
the best.
Japan looks great though.
Um,
On Instagram, it was great.
Howlers?
Do you know what? I've just got discussion points with Howlers today because I knew Dan was coming. And
Come on, myself.
sometimes, when I read the comments, they're like, I would love to have known Dan's thought. And you know what I thought? I hear that, So there's a couple of things I chucked in. We've got like a little... Dan, you should really be added to this. It's just me, Chuckie, and EA Sports.
Yeah,
It's
add
just
him. Add
text.
him.
Well, we're going to start a whole new thing. But Dan's going to be in there. So you can see some of the things that we like to discuss.
What, as howlers?
You won't reply.
That's how... He
I
doesn't
will,
need to
of course I
reply.
do.
He just needs to look at it. One of the things I've seen Cameron and May speaking about it now. So I want to know you lot's opinion. I want to speak about Jalen Green and Drea.
Who?
Now, let's type in, do me a favor. Type in Jalen Green.
On
Is that the
Jalen
girl?
Green. That's the guy.
Oh.
Let's see Jalen Green. And there's one part of Jalen Green I want to observe. No homo. How old is Jalen Green?
Oh, I know this talking topic here.
Let's go to
Okay.
Drea.
Okay.
How old is Drea?
I just got Drake.
Jalen Green is DRA.
He's 22, yeah?
He's 22. Drea, and I believe her surname.
Drea Michelle.
Oh my lord,
Drea Michelle.
that's the one.
Uh-huh.
How old is Drea Michelle?
This is 39.
No, look at you.
So
Super
Drea
buff,
Michelle
though.
is older than everyone
lame.
in this room.
She's lame.
Oh, she
Oh,
is loud.
Brother, allegedly. Oh yeah, bro, you are 40. Drea
Is pregnant for this 22-year-old guy.
Big up him.
Now, I also saw something in the press where Drake, who is 37, was talking to Lato's sister, who's 21, and there was uproar.
Drake's 37.
Allegedly. But the other girl is definitely 21. Now we flipped it. This boy's 22, Drea's 39, and Drea's pregnant. When that child is 20 years old, Drea is 59, and the father is 42.
Yeah, they're just gonna be completely different people. But
I just want to know, one was uproar. Drake was uproar. What are you doing?
Okay, yeah.
Drea's only becoming uproar now. I think one of the first podcasts to go, what are you doing, was Joe Budden. And even on that podcast, the young lady that's on it, what's her name again? Fantastic. Melissa Ford. Fantastic video model back in the day. Big pimping. Mad. She was on there and she didn't know how
Can we
to
get some more
critically
pictures of it?
analyze it.
But,
I'm waiting for him to go left, like as in.
There she is. Yeah, she didn't want
do
to
you know
say...
what? Do
She
you
said
know
nothing.
what? One of the
Yeah,
reasons.
now you're supporting it.
My bad.
Yeah, Arsenal jersey.
My bad.
No, but hear what?
She's a champion.
Just for a bit of context, yeah, I think the reason why Joe and that was so onto Melissa in this situation is because she's so quick to criticize men, but when it's time to hold a woman accountable, she's terrible at it.
So in this
So that's why they were onto her.
onto her. So just what's you lot's opinion? Without me trying to lead anyone anywhere, Dan saw where I was going.
What is you lot's opinions on a 39-year-old woman? Imagine this is your sister, pregnant for a 22-year-old guy, which looks like, this is where I'm going to put my opinion, it looks like finances was a massive decision within this situation here.
Absolutely.
I just want to know, if they're having a girl child, what type of world are you bringing your daughter into if you're basically saying, he's got a bit of cash, let's get pregnant?
I feel like, look, it might not be as blatant
As that.
as that in the real world, but it's not that far off, man. They pick a suitable candidate more often than not, and that's it.
Is that like...
She's gone for the bank.
What do you mean? Say that again.
Yeah, what, like, women, like, they're gonna find
A suitable
yeah,
candidate.
whoever's the eligible candidate. Money might have something to do with it for those that are more money motivated. Others won't, but he is obviously gonna be a star. She wants to drink the elixir of youth.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. Like, that's it. She did the cougar thing, and he's not gonna be fussed about it because she's loud.
She is like.
Is the young man a victim in this situation? Because there's loads of things that she's gone through life-wise that she knows, and he's unaware of. He's 22. He probably just stopped picking his nose.
But who's in the driving seat?
It does.
Who's in-
this is
nah, this is what I wanna know.
This is where my mind's going, because there is an element of this that stinks manipulation.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because of what you just said. It's like when somebody is of a certain age and has a certain level of experience, you know a little bit more. Yeah, and so within that, in this context in particular, there's a good possibility that she could be looking at this very different to the way that a rich 22-year-old would be looking at it, and it's manipulative.
A little bit.
And that's a little bit. And then for that, what he's probably not really deep in is that when you have a child with somebody, that's you.
Yeah.
Like, that is fully you. For her, she'll know that because it's fine for her, because, you know what, my man's super, super, super up. So there's insurance there for a good 18 years minimum. And if she can keep that money good, she'll be good after that. Because there's also another reality in this. I think, I could be wrong in saying this, but this is just my observation, yeah, is when a man is with a woman who is a bit younger, maybe not as young as that, but they are in a relationship together and they almost grow old together. So let's say, for example, now the man might be 60 and the woman might be 50, yeah. There's still some level of compatibility within that. However, when it's the other way around, usually men do go for something that looks a little bit more fresher. So if you're with somebody that is 15 years older, and you're 50 and now she's 65, he's probably not going to be looking at that 65-year-old. Dan, she's probably not going to be looking at that 65-year-old and thinking, yeah, this is me. He might be now, as a rich 50-year-old, looking at a 40-year-old.
But don't you reckon
Yeah,
she
but
knows that?
Do you understand where I'm going with that?
It's seen as more predatory when a man does it, because it looks like you're taking advantage because you're also a man, as well as having the age and the experience.
But what an error of information. I feel like that's more of an even argument now because of the information that's available. Even the fact that men are, especially in history, you can see have been very much like predators. All of that information is available now. So now that we have that information, it's 2024. What's to stop her being a predator? Because I think that the thing that Chuckie just said, I genuinely believe she's older than all of us, apart from EA Sports. So I genuinely believe that she has that information and is fully aware of that as well.
Well,
So
that's what makes it predatory. You have to just call
it
that.
it has to be predatory.
The spade
then,
is the
surely.
spade. Regardless of what that
Because
is.
Because of age.
Because
I
of
don't know.
information.
Age and experience.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Because I think
I
it's-
don't know this. I didn't know. I'd seen this, I think, but I don't know anything. I don't know what she sounds like, what he sounds like. I'm not sure where they are in
But
their
22
lives. Yeah?
and
But
39, come on.
is it not possible that he's completely just swept her off her feet and she fell in love? Like, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Is it predatory? Always.
He could have love bombed her if he's got the money to do that. Because the thing is, the reality is this, yeah. An average 39-year-old woman is not dating no 22-year-old guy. It's just not happening,
Big
really.
facts.
Unless he has got big fucking dough. So two things can happen here.
you
Either
think so?
all you wait, let me just land here, yeah. Either it's a situation where you're just rich anyway, and she could just like you because you just got peas and he's a good looking guy anyway. Or she could have said, this is not my thing, it's not really what I do. But when you've got money, you have power and an element of influence. You can make things work, which then means that you can twang somebody and spin their head into making them feel like, you know what, maybe this could work.
Let me throw something in this.
Because every woman wants to feel safe.
I hear that. Let me throw something in the equation. A couple of subjects back, we're speaking about Floyd Mayweather, the decisions he makes, and what it looks like to us. And we were saying we don't understand it. Now, I look at this decision and I understand it. Fully understand it. I look at Drea, I understand this decision.
Yeah.
But I feel there are some women that won't understand this decision. And they will go, this is kind of like, if that was my younger brother, I would tell her, be careful of this woman here. I feel like they will be. So then, you know what I was saying about Mayweather's doing this to talk to, Drea's doing this to talk to, and someone answered, we're not meant to understand.
Is she rich already?
Not like that. Not 10
like
mil
that.
rich. No way, bro.
And remember what you said. Yeah, their money is their money, and your money is their money.
Of course, but I'm just saying, does the money in this make this? See, I know girls that are going after younger men. There might not be a 20-year age gap in there.
Well, what is it then? Give context.
They want the youth. They want.
But what is the youth?
What is
They
it?
want, like, I don't know. They must love the energy of a younger man.
Can he go to
But
job
what is
centre?
it?
Can he be in job centre right now?
Because a younger woman, an older woman dating a younger man, like let's say within the 30s or 20s or whatever, you would say that like maybe a 35-year-old, let's say a 39-year-old, she might go as low as 30.
I've seen people go lower. I can think of one in my mind.
All right, so you said you've seen it.
Chopping
I'm saying there's no
chopping or
or
sitting
being
down.
together.
Together.
All right, so I'm going to ask you this
I think that's a
question.
big
Have they
rarity.
separated?
No.
They're still together now?
Yeah.
How long
I'm
has it
pretty
been?
Sure. I don't know. It's got to be
How many
decade.
examples do you have that have
Not
lasted
many.
long?
Not many. But what I'm saying
I wouldn't-
is, does money make this worse?
Yes.
Is what I'm
Because-
saying.
Yes.
No.
man.
Is the age what's the first issue? If I have to pick a primary issue here, is it the age and
It's
the
not.
experience
It's
gap,
not the
or is it
money.
the money?
It's not the money. It's the manipulation. So whatever that is, whatever goes into that thing. So this time it could be, the manipulation could be that, you know what, this guy could set me.
What if he chased her?
What if he chased her?
I just want all the workings, because it's not like she's some dud. Like, get me? That's the type of girl that, no matter what.
Yeah, enough man are
But
girls.
this is what
Enough
you're doing.
man.
But this is the thing. This is why I love reality. Reality is completely different to online. Online, she's whatever we want to look at her like. But her reality, amongst all the rappers and all of that, they're like, oh, everyone's been through that. So
Oh, is
her
it?
reality
Okay,
is
okay.
like, she's on like, she's just like, she's got a history. So her reality is at 40 years old, I don't see her around Nelly, I don't see her around Ludacris, I don't see her around all the rappers that she would have been growing up with, so she is a dud to that generation. So in reality, she has to find someone with money, but people her age, it doesn't look like they're really flexing with her like that. All right, cool. Online now, we're going to look at it and go crazy. She knows this information. She knows this. She's thinking, I'm 40 years old, it doesn't look like I have any business, so to speak, but I'm using my profile in order to make money, but I'm 40 years old. It's not like using my profile to make money when I'm 20 years old. I'm 40 years old. I've lived a certain lifestyle. I need money. 22 years old. Boom. He's got 10 mil right now. His money's only going to go up. This is the reasons why I say the money's the issue. Because manipulation, everyone manipulates in some capacity. To a certain extent, if you weaponize manipulation, it looks bad. In this situation, if you extract the money out of it, just the money alone, I don't think she's over there. So there's no point in me trying to make the issue about something that I think it's about because of me. I'm just looking at them and I'm saying, personally, Drea, this just looks like this Doddy's got a lot of money, so I'm
On
over
paper,
there.
But that's why I think in this case you do have to weaponize manipulation, because it is that though.
100% it's that.
And the thing is, do you know what? It's like this is a bit of a weird one still, because when you look at it from the other way, it's not necessarily the money being a factor. It's about control. Yeah. So sometimes I think the reason why people have these conversations about men dating younger women is because of a certain type of man prefers a woman who is inexperienced and young. And there's a deep-rooted issue in that in some way, shape or form. It's almost like, you know, some men don't like it when when you meet a girl, and you're like, you're talking to her or whatever, and then she tells you, you're saying, oh, do you know what, I would love to go to Bali. She says, yeah, I've been to Bali. I went to Bali with my friends and it was really good. And you say, yeah, do you know what? I'm thinking about going to Australia. Yeah, I've been to Australia. I went to Australia with my friends.
Too much.
And then
experience.
you say, and she's beat. Then you say, "Right, I want to go. Have you ever thought about going to like South Korea? Because yeah, I went to South Korea because I did that with." It's like some men in particular just hate that because it's like, I know someone there's an actual girl that I know, yeah, who was finding it hard actually connecting with somebody because she's so well traveled, not because she's been loads of places with her girls, but through work and whatever, and she's experienced things that like men just found it really a little bit intimidated that she'd been everywhere. So it's almost in their minds, they're thinking that they can't provide her a new experience, but of course they can. So a basic thinker would be looking at, I don't want this type of thing. I want something young and fresh. You ain't been nowhere and whatever else. And that's why there's a conversation in there. So you almost have to flip it on its head with on this side and say, all right, cool. It might not be the same conversation in regards to experience, but you look at money.
And that's my problem. I think, and I understand where you're coming from, but I still believe manipulation can be good. Sorry to keep going.
Of course it can.
And
well, can it?
Manipulation can be good. If someone manipulates me to do something positive and I end up doing it, like I do with my children, sometimes I have to manipulate them to get them off their iPads because they've been on it all day. Yeah. It's to their benefit. Do you know where I'm coming from? In this situation here, I think this is a common thing within our community. Like, to be serious, I think it's a common thing amongst women as well, and it's a common thing amongst men, where the value of money and obtaining money is the most important thing, and the way to get there is not aligned with any principles. Right. So you just have people like that do things like this and then find excuses for it. And I'm just like, personally, I understand it, and I would do the same thing at 22 years old, but I just still think it's wrong. I genuinely believe this is wrong. To be 39 years old, pregnant for a 22-year-old, this guy has 22 years of life, which means, and if he's doing sports, he would have been in school until like, what, 18, 19 years old? So this nigga's been in life for 3 whole years. She's 39. I feel like she left education at 12. She's been in life she's been in life longer than you've lived.
Chuckie, you was in a trance.
Yeah, he wasn't it?
Do you know
Chuckie
why?
got lost. I get it.
No, do you know what?
He was looking at He was looking at this.
Oh, you didn't even blink.
No,
You didn't even blink.
I was thinking about something though, because I was thinking, how old? Because what's the math here? Yeah, when he's 40 or 45, how old is she?
What's that? 18 years. So what? Add 18.
45.
Nearly 60. Touching 60.
45, 60.
Like, she a
It don't
grandma.
sound so bad once you're up at those numbers.
No, okay, it doesn't. But you see, it does. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? In our society, it probably doesn't seem so bad when it's the other way around.
She could be his mum.
No,
Bro,
it does still seem bad.
It's bad,
just
bro.
think about
When
it.
her pension starts, he's still got another 15, 16 years.
Right, but hear what
this
happens. Hear what happens though. Usually, most men that would be in and around that are not looking at 60-year-olds, big man. Yeah. Not unless you've got a mad, crazy fetish where you're just trying to get a one slap here and there from
the 60-year-olds that existed in the past. The 60-year-olds that we're gonna see, we might be visiting.
Oh hell no! What? Are you talking about?
Drea at 60.
Yeah,
have you seen Halle Berry at 51? I still think I might visit there at 60.
I hear what I'm saying, Poe. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
I might visit. You know,
I hear that.
J-Lo,
but do you know what? You see those girls? See those natural women? That's a rarity.
It's super rare.
Yeah. Look at what some of them are doing to themselves now at 19. What do you think they're going to look like when they're 60?
Oh, no,
That's what I'm saying. Remember, I keep
Gen
saying
Z's
this,
different.
I keep saying this, and you're going to clip this up one day. I don't even mean to make a joke of it. But you see how male suicide is more than women? That gap is going to close in a drastic way at some point in time because of what people are doing to themselves. I promise you.
Shout out Kane Brown. I want to go.
How are you doing this to yourself at 20?
I saw Kane Brown on Wednesday at the BBC
big up
comedy
Kane
show.
Brown,
Big
bro.
up Kane Brown. Big up Baba Tunde was there.
Yeah, you was there. I noticed you was there.
Come on, my brother. I had to go and shout
Kane
out
Brown
Farron.
is fucking hilarious.
But he touched on something.
Superman thing he did.
He touched on something though. He said, women, you have to start love yourself.
Right.
You lose your love in fabrication and materialism. You lose your love in Botox. You lose your love in cheekbones. You lose your love in dimples that never existed 5 years ago but exist now. I just think this whole beauty and money aspect is taking you away from me. So please, people, start focusing on the right things in life so I can have more beautiful women to look at. When I hit about 40, 50, I don't want to see them faces that can't move.
Or melting.
Or melting. Or the titty them just stiff. You know the titty them just stiff now.
Oh,
you hit
my-
them and you hurt your hand. I don't want that type of
Hey,
vibe.
you know one time, yeah, years ago, I had one.
Gotta make it crystal clear. I am a free agent. I'm letting them know.
No, man, but I had a gal with me or whatever, yeah, and her, like, how is her breast as stiff as me?
Yeah, man.
Nah, man.
I'm talking about, I'm trying to go put the titty
Hey.
in between it and it's hurting my ting.
Bro,
It's
I
like
couldn't even.
fucking
There's no
grazing
way.
the ting now. Grating cheese.
Do you know how much girth I would have needed to have for me to feel that? Because it was so sick. Bro, it was crazy, Dad. And you know what? See
Yeah,
me as well, because I'm like, obviously, I do like titties, you know what I mean? Like, for me to hold a titty and it's stiff, and I'm a man. I've got a phobia of mold, innit? So, like, and things that are not, I don't know, it's a crazy phobia, by the way.
I'm working out how you're gonna land this here.
Because in my mind, the titty is mold, like there's something gone on in there, and it's not the way that it's supposed to be. So now my mind works as the same way that I see moldy bread. If I see moldy bread and it's green, and I see a tit that is hard and solid, both of them are in the same place as far as I'm concerned.
Now I'm hearing it, because when the bread goes stiff, sir,
Yes.
that's that person's head.
Have you seen how hard
It's an
bread
AJ
gets
punch.
stiff,
Dog.
when you leave it in the fridge and it's moldy sometimes?
Yeah, for wetting
so you
before you
squeeze
throw
the
it in the
tit
bin.
and it's hard.
Yeah,
nah,
man,
nah.
that's long. Bricks. I don't want that.
I like
I
my
don't
thing
want that.
more
I don't
spo-
deserve
I like
that.
it more spongy. But anyway, all right.
Drea,
Listen.
but listen,
She is
but
Leng though.
I'm a hypocrite though, because I understand, and at 22 years old, I will do the same thing.
Oh.
29-year-old Dre, and I'm 29. 100% I'm doing it. I'm just saying, as you get older, you realize it's wrong. I'm 22 years old, and Drea comes up to me and says, "Yo, get me pregnant."
I'm happy to be a
And then,
brother.
and then before you know, before you know
Has
it,
he
I
said
want
anything?
twins.
huh?
Has he like said anything about
Nah,
that?
man, he's
Surely
just
this is
22, just
outright
doing his
everywhere.
thing.
Oh, it's out. Yeah,
He's
that
just
one,
22 doing his thing,
He
bro.
just impregnated her and they've just decided, right, we're just going to have a baby still. Like,
No, they actually
he-
they were going out, and then
They're
what the
there
bigger
together.
the problem was at the basketball game. Now she's worn a jumper that's a bit too baggy. Then the rumors
People have
start.
said, yeah.
And obviously she's a girl that wears tight clothing, let you know that I'm shaped up. And now all of a sudden, there's a midget in the stomach.
Anyway,
Strongly.
that was coming. That was coming.
Well, he
They should have
certainly
stopped this. They should have stopped this long before that. If there was a real thing.
Look at that, man.
Yeah, it's mad.
Brother, I hear you, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations,
to
yeah,
them, man.
for real. I wish that. You know what Scrapper said, man. Oh,